All right. Meet a few people. Talk about how to silence the critical voice in your head. Okay, that's Janine from the other room, which means that they're also starting, which is awesome. All right, so how about Zhang? You ready? You ready to get it started?
Yes. Yes.
All right, stage is yours. So here we are, last session of today's Excellence Convention. This is going to be fantastic. I really look forward to this one. Please.
Thank you, everybody, for staying so late. And this is the last session. I really appreciate that you are here. Let's take deep breath. Just relax. Imagine that you are in a network event or party, like at night. It's in a room, lots of people talking. You're holding a wine, walking across the room. Then you feel something. You feel someone is watching you. So you turn around, and that's that person smiling at you. And you say, hi. And that person says, hi. So you introduce yourself, and he or she introduced you. Then that person said, so, what do you do? And suddenly, your head turned into a closet full of clothes. And you started wondering, what should I wear today? Because you have so many things going on, and you love all of them. There are excitements all around. Where should I start? Sometimes it happens to me like this. My name is Zhang. I'm Chinese. I've been living in Japan for 15 years. Right now, I'm a real estate investment advisor, a high performance coach, a professional model, and I do pole dancing for fun. People sometimes ask me, well, you do so many things, don't you feel tired? But when you do things that you love to do you feel like you're working? I don't feel like working. People who know me all these years thought I probably like this all the time from my childhood. Optimistic, loves meeting people, talking to people, loves still standing on stage, love the performance, but actually not. I came from a small community, smaller than a village, deep in the mountains of China. That was my 9 years, the first 9 years. Then my mom and dad wanted to give me a better future. They worked hard and moved the family to a big city, which has 9.9 million population. And that's me, from a small community, a village, to a big city. I didn't know where I am. What is that system is? I couldn't understand at all. I couldn't understand the language too. Nothing. I became very quiet, shy. And because I was a country girl, I have little red cheeks on the face, people laughing at me. I just want to be small. I was the one always in the audience seat, looking on stage, just admiring. Fast forward, I worked hard, I studied hard, and then I came to Japan, and I got a master's degree. In June 2009, I remember I was sitting in my bed. I was burying my head in my hands, looking at a PC in front of me. I just got another rejection from a company. I graduated from school, graduate from graduate school. I got my master's degree. I speak 3 languages. Why companies keeping rejecting me? Before this, I spent 2 months in Tokyo. Nothing happened. Tokyo is expensive. So I have to think about, let's move to Osaka. Osaka? That was the 4th month. Nothing happens. The rejection emails are full in my inbox. I was at that moment in my bed. I was sinking to the darkest darkness. What should I do? My visa is gonna be expired soon. I could see the bottom of my savings. I couldn't get a part-time job because nobody wants a person who is looking for a full-time job. I'm not sure that how long I'm gonna work for that company, for that, shop. So I was crying to the universe, please, give me a job. Any, please, give me some hope. The universe responds. 2 days later, I got a call. A company called me for an interview, and I got hired in that interview day. It was a small company, importing, exporting. They sent me to an island, and I stayed there. I lived there for 3 years working for them. At the beginning, it was really exciting because that was my first job. Finally, I have income, and I'm living in a beautiful island. I'm learning all these things. But when you doing the same thing again and again and again, I know exactly what I'm going to do in 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m. is the lunch, then 1 p.m., and then 6 p.m. I just go home, day after day after day. Wow. One day I was looking at the ocean and said, do you really want to leave the job the rest of your life? Hell no. Then what do you want? What kind of life do you want? I started to brainstorming. I take out the pen and a paper, blank paper, just started to write. 3 words, 4 words coming out. Real estate, modeling, dancing, acting. What are these? Sales? That sounds hard. Mom said it's so hard. Don't do sales. Real estate? Can you remember all these weird names of Japanese buildings and roads? Modeling? You've never been on stage before. Hey, you're always in the audience seat. Acting? Really? I push everything down. But when your soul is talking to you, you got to listen. Because your soul is planting seeds in your head. If you don't listen, your soul is gonna keep telling you. The oldest seed in my head is modeling. I was 5 years old, sitting in a bench next to my best friend in a park. We're talking about, what do you want to do when we grow up? we both said, modeling. I want to be a model. 5 years old. Know nothing about modeling. My mom and dad didn't see me on that path. They said to me, hey, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna focus on study because so many people want to go to college. And not everyone can go to college, okay? Focus on study, get a higher score so that you can go to a good middle school, so that you can go to good high school, so that you can go to a good college. Then you can have a well-paid job and mom and dad will be proud of you. If you cannot go to college, you're gonna end up sweeping the floor of the street outside in the winter morning while your classmates driving expensive cars passing by. How does that feel? I'm gonna study. And I studied hard. I focus, just study. But literally, I don't have much memories in my childhood, except study. But 9 years old, I want to be a model. Push it down, focus. 12 years old, I want to be a model. I push it down. 16 years old, I want to be a model. I put it down. You're too fat and you're not tall enough. 22 years old, I want to be a model. I put it down. 26 years old, I want to be a model. I put it down. 32 years old, one day I saw an 84 years old model walking on the runway. She was like the biggest diamond on that stage. Behind her are all these beautiful young models watching her with admiring eyes. She was shining on that stage, and she also shining inside me to the darkest part of my heart and gave me hope. Then I started to ask the question, is it really too old to become a model? Modeling can be a life-lasting career. Have you ever done any research? No, I didn't. Because my belief told me that it's impossible. But that day, I did some research. In the evening, 11 p.m., I decide I'm gonna become a professional model. When your soul is telling you something again and again and again, you gotta listen to it. And this is how you find the potential, how you find your dream life. I know sometimes it's scared. I was scared. But I know if I put it down again, my soul is gonna tell me, it's gonna say again and again, I wanna be a model. It's gonna come up when I'm 42. It's gonna come up when I'm 62. It's gonna come up when I'm 82. It's gonna come up in the last day of my life. And at that time, I won't feel fear anymore. The only feeling is regret. And I don't want to feel that. So I'm gonna do it now. When you decide what you want and what kind of path you're gonna create, then here are 3 things you might want to do. First, make a plan. Found your role model, found all the resources you can find. There are so many things, so many information all around. And massive action. That's number 1. Make a plan. Second, know your outcome. Now you have a goal. Know your outcome. But enjoy the process. Because you are on the right path. Every day, no matter how slow you're going, you're going the right direction. If you're on the wrong path, the faster you go, the further you're away from where you want to go. So enjoy every moment of your life because you are living in a dream life. When I decided at that night, 11 p.m., I'm gonna be a professional model, I am a professional model from that day. Three, surround you with right people. Right people who can support you, who can help you, who encourages you, who challenge you, who inspire you. So I decided I'm gonna be a model. So what? I made a plan. I'm gonna join a model school because I know nothing about modeling. And modeling school can be a bridge between me and agencies. I found a school, 1-year course, 3 times of my salary. It was expensive, but my dream is expensive. And time is priceless. I go for it. I was the first person to join a class and always the last person to leave. My classmates, 16 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, 32 years old. I don't care. I know what I want. And I have a great relationship with all these instructors. At the end of this 1-year course, 2 instructors introduced me to 2 agencies. The first agency, sorry, I feel sorry too because they didn't got me. It's fine. Second agency, the owner looked at me. I give you 6 months. If you can lose weight, you can join. You see, when I started to become a model, I was still chappy. It's okay. Anything can happen. 6 months. Great. She didn't say no. That's a good thing. It's a little crack. If you see a little crack in the building, I would feel terrified because a little crack it's a sign that the building can crack, can be destroyed. That means this little crack maybe will destroy all my difficulties. I just concentrate on my exercise, my diet, and my training. I enjoy every moment because I'm living the life I want to live. And all these models are around me, they're so friendly. They're so supportive. And every time I'm looking at their gorgeous, like the way they walk, the way they talk, I just feel like I want to be them. Surround you with right people. Fast forward, 2 years passed. After 2 years, I became one of the best models in that agency. when your soul tells you something, you got to listen. Well, on that path, there will be moments that you feel fear. You talk to yourself, I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not educated enough. I'm not rich enough. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough experience. Why is me? There's so many people better than me. But you can figure it out. I believe you. I believe in myself. Keep doing it. You will figure it out. I figured it out. It took a long time, 32 years, to figure out that I can be a model. But yeah, anything is possible. But 2 years ago, I had my first coach. He really speed things up. 2 years ago, I was already changed my job because, the brain, the soul tells me that real estate. So I changed the company to a vacation rental management company. It's not really real estate, but it's close. Then I'm really, really happy about all the jobs I have, like reservations. I do lots of, it's a small company. Reservations, I'm an assistant of cleaning manager. I'm assistant of operation manager. I do license. I working on the lawyers and also the sales. I do many things. And we also had a new hotel coming up. There's no part-time staff at that time at the beginning. I have to fill in the front desks. So I was quite busy and overwhelmed. At my private time, I'm working on my real estate license exams in Japan or in Japanese. Very difficult even for Japanese. I was really stressed. But my coach helped me to see what is going on in my life. Take a deep breath and step back. And raise up like helicopters and see what's going on. What do you really like? What is most important thing in your life? What is not really important? Because I had so many things to do, I never thought about that at that time. But when you're not thinking about your priority, other people will make priorities for you. And that priority is not for you, it's for them. And I realized it. And now I started to prioritize what I want, what is good for me, and then say no to things that I don't want, and dedicate some things to other staffs. And now I only concentrate on sales. And by the way, I passed that exam, which is like 15% passing rate in Japan. One shot, passed. Now I'm a real real estate realtor. Yes. And I create my own paths. I'm a very curious person. I like to do many different kind of things. But all the things I create, all the paths I create is for me, not for other people. So yeah, coaching. 2 years. The progress I had was like 5 times faster than I figured out myself. I really appreciate it. And that person become one of the most important person in my life. The second coach was this year. We worked together from May till now. He really helped me to see more about myself deeply. He was like a mirror, helping me to see myself. You know, it's very easy that you can see other people, but it's not easy for you to see yourself. It's normal. And that's why have a mirror is very important. And I built up this beautiful community for me. I was surrounded by all these amazing people for me. Janine, the host of this event, is another beautiful person, and Maria. Janine and Maria have a Monday morning motivation sessions every morning. Every Monday morning, they have free coaching little sessions, sharing some insights of coaching. It's for free because it's the passion. When we love something, we just feel happy. We don't feel tired about it. What is your dream? What is your soul telling you again and again and again? Final question. Imagine now, this is 2025. You're in a network event, a party, you're holding a wine. Lots of people around you. You're walking across the room, and you turn around, you see me. And you say, wow, Yi, it's you. Oh my God, I gotta tell you, in these past 5 years, you know what? I fill the blank. Tell me what happened in the past 5 years. I'd love to hear. I will offer 30-minute session discovering calls with you. After this, anytime, Maria will help. Yes, Maria will sharing the contact of me. If you want to share something, if you want to share what you have achieved in these 5 years, I'd love to hear. Thank you very much.
Well done, Yi. That was
If you have
powerful.
any questions, thank you. If you have any questions, please. I'd love to answer, and I love to hear your stories too.
Absolutely, guys. There's the chat function that I'm pulling up right now, or you can unmute yourselves and share what your next 5 years would look like, or if you have any questions for Yi about anything that she just shared, or if you want to know more, or if you want to share your story, please feel free to unmute yourself or type it in the chat.
While we're waiting, I'd like to share a little bit more about what you don't want to do to create your own path. One thing is the mistake I made a lot, what is consuming information only. So we know that successful people love reading books, but just reading books, just attend seminars is not gonna help. Knowledge is not helpful if you don't use it. So action. Action is the key. Action build up the confidence. Action make sure that you go forward. Small action, big action, doesn't matter. But you got to do something. Act on it. The second is that don't take advice from wrong people. The wrong people can be very important people, like your parents, your spouse. They love you. They give you advice. But their advice is based on their belief. It can be, don't work so hard. I'm worried about you. This is too dangerous. What if you lose everything? Find a stable job. But what you really want, listen to your soul.
I'm not sure if you can see the chat. There's a question in the chat.
Yes, what did you discover about yourself in your journey so far? Yes. Thank you, Johnny. There are so many uncertainties in our lives when we're moving forward. I heard from the last session, Raquel's session. I couldn't remember who asked that question, like worry about what they don't know what's gonna happen next. It's natural. You don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You just assume what's gonna happen tomorrow. Nobody knows that 2020 is gonna be like that, but it's like that. So just dance with it. Just dance with it. It's like walking in a dark forest. At the beginning, you feel like you can't see anything. You feel so scared. It's the all darkness. I couldn't see anything. But after a while, you can see a little bit. Maybe from your intuition, you can see a little bit. Then you just focus. You know the main direction. You focus only the next step. Then you can see more. And then focus on the next step. Then you can see more. Then focus on the next step. Every step will give you some hint at where is the road. So yeah, this is what I discovered from my journey. Make friends with uncertainty. How do you shut out the voice of well-meaning people, the wrong people? It is difficult, Mandy. It is difficult. Place a distance from them. I know sometimes it's sad that you want to call them because you love them, but then they give you something that influences you, affects you a lot. So sometimes you just have to give that space. And make sure that most of the time you're surrounded by right people. You can still go back. You know, here is the thing. If your parents or your spouse is not that right people, but they love you, when you're with them, you just a daughter. You love them. You're being the daughter. And they say something, yes, okay, but you do your own thing. That is my suggestion. Let me see, are there any other questions? Please feel free to unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sorry, Michel speaking.
Oh, Michelle, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to hear you.
And thank you, yes, for your amazing story.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you. And also good evening for everyone. I would say who is attending. I would say this webinar. So my question is more, you know, but how do you know? I would say the things that I would say interesting you. You were telling us that modeling, I would say, was your thing. And you know, I know that some people they know what they want to do, and for other people, I would say it's not so obvious. I would say to have this this target or these things. Yeah, I want to do this. I want to do this. Unless I would say you experience, I would say a lot of things just to say at the end, yes, actually I want to do this or this.
Yes, I have been there before. When I graduated from college, I was thinking, what should I do? What kind of job do I want? I have no clue at that time. Well, that means I need to get more experience. I need to say yes more to other opportunities and try things and figure out, I like this, I don't like this. I'm more like this, I don't like this. And journaling really helps. I've been keeping journaling since childhood. Journal is like you talking to yourself. And when you journal a lot and you go back to see what you write, then you will find some hints there. And also journaling makes your mind more clearer. So my answer would be say yes more and have more experience. Do some more things. It can be volunteer, it can be part-time job, it can be everything, anything comes to you, any opportunities comes to you, say yes more. And then do journaling. Always ask yourself openly, like, is this what you want? Is this what you dislike? Review, and review.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I would say it was really what I was thinking. Yes, especially since last year, I would say to always to push myself to do new things, new activities, new networkings, and at the end to be connected with new people. I would say just to be, just to let you know, I would say who I am actually.
You'll find it out on the way.
Thank you.
And trust yourself.
I really I started also some coaching, I would say, with Janine since last year, and this coaching has we can say changed my life and also my point of view of everything, I would say, on what I was doing, and this is helped me. She helped me a lot figuring out different aspects of my life, whatever it's personal life or professional life. And for sure, yes, I will recommend, I would say, to everyone who are interested to be coached, just to have the experience, because this has been the best experience of my life, actually.
Yes. And Michelle, you know, when you become your mindset change and when your mindset change, your personality, everything changes. Your energy changes. When you changed, the vibration you send out to the universe change, and people that you attract will be different. You attract more and more the people you want to attract. So keep doing it.
I agree with you. Yeah, this is actually what's happening also. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions.
Yeah,
I think your question will inspire other people.
Yeah, I let other people now, I would say, to ask directly questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Ah, hi.
Hi. So you talked about journaling just briefly during the last answer. I was going to ask, do you have any sort of favorite methods of journaling for like self-reflection? Because I journal at the moment, but sometimes I don't feel that I get a lot out of it. So I was wondering if you had any sort of like methods or ways to ask or like targeted questions to ask yourself to see if you're improving or to see if you're at the right place in your life.
Okay, thank you for that question. Well, for me, myself, it's really easy. I'm really not good at writing. I hated writing. But if you give me a white paper, nothing, and a pen, and tell me to write whatever in your mind, I can write. I just write whatever in your mind. My mind's at red, I just write red. Whatever. And then when time goes by, words become sentences. I just listen to my thoughts. Just like meditation. Listen to my thoughts and write it down. This is one method. Another one is from Chris. Chris Williams today in the beginning of in the morning keynote, he shared about the review is really important to go from where you're now and where you want to be. Is review, ask yourself, let me think. What you did well and why. What can you do better and how?
Okay, that's great.
Here's another way. Here's another way to journaling, but it's not really writing. I sometimes do a Facebook Live or even just a video just for myself. Just talk about the day. Especially when there's something happens, I would just talk about it and then listen to it. And sometimes I can see myself. It's like coaching myself. I'm a coach. I like coaching myself and see what is the word I use, what exactly happened. Sometimes when, for example, the relationship with someone, you can be thinking, focus on different things, but actually it's not what you're thinking it is. But when you say it and then listen to it, it's like you will listen, put yourself outside you and listen. That's a way to observe.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you for the question.
Ms. Zhang, this has been a great session. Thank you so very much for your enlightenment.
Thank you, Khalif.
Oh, no problem. My question for you is, sometimes we get advice from people who mean well. Maybe they're in positions of authority and we think maybe we should kind of listen to them, but it ends up being bad advice. How do we know, or what advice can you give us to knowing if we're getting bad advice, even from people who mean well?
Could you repeat that question again?
Oh yeah, so how do you know if you're getting bad advice? Like from a person who's older than you or a boss at work, how do you simply put, how do you know if you're getting bad advice?
A bad advice. How do you know that you're getting a bad advice?
Yes, from people who mean well.
If that person is telling you to play small, if that person is telling you to keep you in a comfort zone, stable, because that person wants you to be safe, want you to be happy, want to protect you, You know that if you do this, you cannot go into where you want to be. You cannot create your own path. And that's a bad advice. And also, for me, I listen to different kind of people. And I know exactly this person said is not really what I want to do. It's like intuition for me.
I understand. Thank you so much.
Or do you have any stories or any kind of examples?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
What kind of bad advice?
Well, I would say for example, yes, let's say you're working with a company, or maybe even you have a mentor, and they're giving you advice that's worked for them, but something in maybe you feel, okay, this is good advice. I know you mean well, but no, I don't really know if I should do this. So be it a relative or somebody who's helped you in the past, but maybe in that particular instance, you're not sure if the advice is good for you. I think this happens to many people. So that's why I wanted your advice. And yeah, I think your answer was great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that question. Beautiful question. You listen to your intuition. Listen to your gut. You know what you want. Sometimes you don't know if it's bad or good. Keep it in the pocket and put it out later and see how it goes.
If I can add something, Yi, to that, I think that in my experience, what is useful to understand if a person, because hindsight is 2020, is always easy to say, oh, that was bad advice, but you figure it out later when something has happened and you didn't really achieve what you wanted to achieve. I think that as Yi mentioned, if people are telling you like to play it safe, just for the sake of playing it safe, right? Because maybe that's their reality, I think that's a great advice. What I would add is try to understand what is the intention or the motivation of people giving you that advice. Because sometimes, for example, people would tell you not to do things because they think it's going to be difficult for you and they genuinely care. But then you might have a different idea and you might want to do it anyway. So you just have to balance what their intention is. If someone is giving you advice to try and invest in something, which I know nothing about, but I'm guessing that there's people who are going to tell you to invest because they can make money out of it. So in that case, you want to think about, is that good advice, or are these people just going to want to make money off whatever I'm doing, compared to genuinely helping you? And I don't think this is easy all the time, but that's an extra question to be asking yourself when you're weighing the pros and cons.
And that's great. That's a great answer too. Yes. And you're not sure, listen to many people.
And if something keeps coming up and up and up from different people in different circumstances, do listen to that. Do not ignore that. If 10 people are telling you the same thing and they come from wildly different backgrounds and they keep giving you the same advice, that might be a hint that there's something that could be valuable in that. All right, we still have a few minutes, so guys, feel free to ask any other question. In the meantime, I'm just going to share in the chat the room where we're going to have the closing speech and the lucky draw, which is the business room, the boardroom. So I'm just going to share that in the chat, and in about 10 minutes, we're all going to go and migrate over there for the last lucky draw and closing speech. But we still have a few minutes, so Yi is still available for any fantastic answers. With a very relaxing voice. You have an extremely relaxing voice here. It's very nice.
Thank you. And I don't know if Hannah is still there, because Hannah, she's from Beijing and she wants to become a Chinese teacher in
Oh yeah,
in
from
another country, I remember.
thing, yeah. I'm not sure.
I don't know if she's there, but to answer that question, you just gotta believe yourself. You can do it. Nothing is impossible. You know, it sounds so ridiculous when I hear my voice saying, I want to be a model, you know?
But everything starts as a thought, and then it really depends on what we do with it. And you clearly did something and took action, and that's how now you have a modeling career.
Yes.
People who did not listen to that voice and did not have a modeling career, even though they wanted it. So, as you said, action is very important. Very, very important.
Very important.
All right, guys, one last chance to ask Yi any question. And as usual, you guys will receive all the information about all the speakers in a summary email. So you can contact Yi for any more coaching or any more sharings or any questions you might have for her or for any of the other speakers that you have listened to today. And I'm just gonna, okay, so in the chat, you have the link and the meeting ID for the business room, where we're gonna have a lucky draw and closing speech in just about 5 minutes. So that's where we're gonna see all of you.